Hello, BookTube. I'm here with another of my COVID days and nights. And I apologize for not uh, doing one yesterday, but I was not up to it to do anything, especially in the evening after. I might have done one video, I think, yesterday, or maybe I didn't do any videos yesterday. I can't quite remember now. That's another issue. um, Yesterday, I was today, I've been really, really tired. I think I'm on a sort of a down plunge with long COVID, but yesterday more so because I did do something because I got the a book. Yeah, I just remembered now, and that's why I was downstairs waiting for the mail, and there were people coming in to change a radiator in the room, but there was nowhere else to go, so I stayed in there until the mail came, and then I came upstairs. And then later another package came. But I think because my breathing started going bad and I was going to lay down and I couldn't because I was wheezing and my oxygen levels were quite low, in the lower 80s. And every time when I lie down, it makes it worse. So I had to sit up in my chair and rest. And I think it could have been because the two people that were there probably were wearing Lynx or some kind of perfume. I no longer have an early warning system. My nose, uh, I can't smell hardly anything anymore. So before I used to be able to smell it, and usually I've already had breathing effects by it, but at least I know what it is, and then I know to get out of there, get away from it. But when you can't smell it, you don't know. So yeah, and so all last evening I was just uh, dozing, and I've been trying to. Well, I will be finished today. The first Jim Butcher Dresden Files novel, Stormfront. I'm pretty well finished. I just have a little bit left, and I will finish that this evening because I'm feeling okay. Thankfully, knock on wood, at the moment. I had sort of a rough day today because two things happened. I mentioned about this other assistance that I've been trying to get. It's called uh, Personal Independence Payment, PIP. I applied for it. It's close to 2 years ago. I'll just quickly go through, and they lost my application. Well, no, wait a minute. The first was that they kept sending me some emails and text messages saying you're going to get some documentation, everything's okay, blah blah blah. So that would go by weeks and stuff. So I'd call up and they'd say, "Well, you need to just wait because they're very very busy." Okay, so I waited and waited, and I think it was almost Christmas of that year that I found out that my application was canceled, and it was canceled months and months earlier, and they didn't tell me, and they don't know why it was canceled. So they said they had to try to reinstate it, and that's what's the situation has been for 2 years now, well, a year and a half now. And they need identification, my passport, my permanent residency card, but they want me to just mail it, and I don't trust them, and I don't trust them, and I don't trust the post to get it there. So I asked if there was a different way, and they said because I'm here on a permanent residency, they can go to the home office. Well, one of my first, and the reason why I'll say this as well, I said, okay, is there anywhere that I can take it? Or is there, and they said, well, yes, you can go to London. I could go to Milton Keynes, which is not possible. It was less possible for me to get around at that time. and let alone London. It wasn't possible. So I said another way, and they said, yeah, they'll go to the home office. So, and they'll get the information. So I kept on them. I kept on them. And then they said, oh well, it's, and then after a certain part of time, it was they weren't asking anymore. Well, why? And I don't get an answer. Anyway, it just continued and continued, and for the last couple months, I've been pushing really hard for this. And yesterday I called again. That was early in the morning, and was it yesterday or the day? No, it was the day before that I had called. Uh, and they just said that they'll have to get back to me. So they got back to me today. The short of this is that they've got back to me today, this afternoon. And you see, the thing is, when it gets, if and it should get okayed, they have to pay me back or give me money for from the day one I applied. So today they told me, well, they can no longer sustain that application. It won't happen because they are not hearing anything back from the home office. Well, have you asked them? Have you chased it up? Well, we sent a request. Yeah, just so they've sent one request, and it was either lost or ignored, and nobody on their end has chased it up. So therefore, they've realized that if they actually do something, which they apparently will now, they have to give me this back, a benefit, and they don't want to do that. I'm convinced of that. So, and then I said, well, we're still stuck with my thing. And they said, oh, well, we can have somebody come and view it. Would you be okay with that? And I go, yeah. That's what I asked this 2 years ago. Why wasn't it done then? And then I just get this. The woman just kept trying to avoid my question. She just kept saying, "Oh, well, I've spoken to supervisor in there, and they say this is we could do this. This is okay, and all." Yeah, but why wasn't this done 2 years ago? And then she just repeats that, and I said, "Oh," well, I said, "Whoa, hold it here. You are not replying. You are obfuscating, and you are avoiding my question. I want an answer to this question. Why wasn't this done before when I asked for it? You've recorded everything. This should be on record." And then there was a long pause. I said, well, I can't speak for my colleagues in the past. And I said, well, somebody should be able to, because nobody's taking uh, um, not charge of it, responsibility for it. Nobody's taking responsibility for this. So basically, I've got to start all over. I've got to call in, and I tried calling in this afternoon, and after an hour and a half on hold, I was cut off. So I'll try again tomorrow. It's just, and I wonder why my blood pressure's high. um, this is one of the things that will help me, or it should help me, get out more and to be able to do things. It should help me for that. And then I received a call from my doctor. Again, my blood pressure is going up here. Just even thinking about the calls that I had today, which I normally don't get many. Doctor calls because I called in my blood pressure results, and I tried to explain to him that I now have a doohickey, a thingamy-bob, a blood pressure monitor, um, and they texted me yesterday, because on Monday I called in the readings, and apparently he didn't get them. But I got a text message the other day saying, use the link below to enter your enter your readings. There's no link. I'm still waiting for the link, but apparently, according to the doctors, there's another way of doing it. So I'll look at that. But now he doesn't want any readings for 2 weeks. Before they wanted readings every day, and they were badgering me for readings every day when I didn't have a blood pressure monitor. And I explained what the issue was. Like I do a reading on my right arm, and then I do a reading on my left arm, and there'd be a disparity of like 20 in the top. What is that? The systolic number, like a good 20 difference. And he says, "Oh, you don't need to worry about that." And I'm going, "Why?" And his answer was, "Well, I can't think of any disease that would cause that, so you don't need to worry about it." Okay, but why is there the difference? And he doesn't answer that. And then, like I would put on, because when it was found that it's high, sort of recently in the past, like 4 or 5 weeks or whenever that was, that my blood pressure was a little too high. Another doctor gave me a new medication. Well, it turns out it wasn't a new medication for me. I did say clearly to her that I was taken off the medication that I had, and I was tried one that gave me extreme pain in my heart. It felt like I was having a heart attack. It was a side effect of the medication. So I was taken off that, and I was put on another one, which I can't remember. I can't remember what these ones were, and she wouldn't tell me. And I said, "Well, it should all be there. Should say that one didn't work, the second one didn't work, and then so they had to put me on something else, which I am currently on." Or actually, they had me on something else, and then they changed it after my heart issue in 2021. This is getting just too complicated for me to even follow. But yeah, so she gave me the one that clearly states on my file that doesn't work. And he saw that. So obviously it hasn't done anything to help me. So he's sending out a new one. And he said, "Well, don't send any readings in until after you start using it on the second week, at the beginning of the second week. Then you can send in readings." Because, like, okay. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. And then I've been waiting to find out a report from the cardiologist, because in 2021, in January 25th, 2021, I had this, like, they thought it was a heart attack, but I had an angiogram and my pipes were clean, except they said one artery, there was a very minor, and it said very minor plaque, not to be concerned with. So, and about 8 weeks ago or so, I got a call from our cardiologist again, and it's taken them 2 years, or over 2 years. They're saying it wasn't a heart attack. And the report that's come back, the cardiologist said something like it was some long name or something, what it was. And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" And the doctor said, "Well, to translate it, it means funny heartbeat." So I didn't have a heart attack. I had a funny heartbeat. No idea what caused this. It's just that my heart was racing. So the one medication that I'm on is to bring my heartbeat down. That's why my heartbeat is actually, my pulse is lower than I ever noticed it before in my life. It's in the 50s or early 60s at rest. Usually around mid 50s. So anyway, so I'm getting a new medication to try. So yeah, and no idea what it cost. And see, I can't get out to these places. I can't get out to. I'm at a point at this time that even if I get a taxi somewhere, I can't move that long from the getting out of the taxi before I need to sit down. And for some reason, a lot of places have too far of a distance from where you get out of of the vehicle to get to the door or into where somewhere I can sit. It's too far for me to go. So, and they what they want me to do is to go there to get my blood pressure taken. And I don't know why. What? Well, okay, I can understand that when I wasn't able to give the readings, fine, I needed to go somewhere to get it done. But they're even still saying I need to come in to do it. When after they kept saying I needed to get a monitor, I got a monitor, and they're saying you still need to come in. And I said, why? What are you going to do in the office by taking my blood pressure that getting the reading or having a nurse do it will make the difference? And I don't get an answer to this. It's like they're not doing anything else. And every nurse that I've ever known here in or anywhere, well, I've known a lot of nurses here because I've worked for uh, the health services for many years, and they say that basically when you go into the the readings for blood pressure, and a lot of readings are abnormal. They're not your normal readings when you go into offices because of sort of a little bit of stress, and even like even if you're not too stressed, but some people get very stressed at this, so therefore the meeting readings are high. um and yeah, so anyway, so that's how things are, and it's just driving me to distraction at times. And when I'm tired, I don't need this kind of thing. And anyway, so that's enough of my violin playing for the moment. One thing I did want to mention was the video that I did for requesting help to get these monitors, and they're still useful, and they will be useful. And when I get uh, the scale, and then eventually a chair, I don't know where to go. I'm still looking for a chair that I need properly, because I don't want to get one that'll just collapse and spend a lot of money for that. I just don't want to do that. But anyway, on that video, there were a lot of you subscribers that did it was called super thanks, and I really appreciate that. But I've come to find out, well, in other words, I've taken it off. I've stopped using it because it looks like, as far as I can tell, I've been waiting now for it to update, and it looks like it's fully updated. YouTube is taking over 45%, about 48% of the money that has been put on the super thanks. That is just insane. So I have disabled that. So it should no longer appear on any of my videos, because this is just ridiculous. So I do appreciate people and everybody doing this, but it's not fair on you. It's not fair on me. When somebody expects, that they give something that I should get at least most of it. Like, okay, taking a few percent, okay, that's fine. But just think of the money that they're getting. Like, I don't know how, there must be millions and millions of dollars and pounds that they're just pocketing for doing, like, I don't even want to start that. So there are other ways of doing it. As I say, there is the the PayPal link, and that normally. But I have noticed, and I don't know why, there has been fees that have been taken from, I don't know why, but there has been fees taken, and I think maybe if when it's put down as a purchase, when somebody says it's a purchase rather than a gift, I think that's where they take a percentage of it. But it's still a heck of a lot less than YouTube has. So anyway, that's sort of it. I want to get back to the Dresden Files, Stormfront, by Jim Butcher, and finish that this evening. Thank you, BookTube, and thank you, everybody. Take care.